In the far south of Germany, only a stone's throw from Lake Constance and the Swiss border, deep in the flowing volcanic hills of the Upper Hegau region, lies an old mill by a little creek, the Stählemühle, which once belonged to Salem Abbey. Right at the heart of a region where centuries ago monastic traditions and experience in fruit growing led to absolute perfection and the pinnacle of the alchemistic art of distillation. Here too, in the Stählemühle distillery, alcohol has been distilled for over 150 years. The small distillery built around that time, which also houses the wood-fired oven and the apprentices' living quarters, bears testimony to the traditional composition of typical southern German mill architecture to this day. In 2004, Christoph Keller and Christiane Schoeller took over the property, including the traditional distillery, which until then had been run as a simple grain distillery. Following initial experiments, a period of enthusiastic study and a series of international awards, the desire to convert the distillery into a premium facility, distilling fruit and herb brandies and give it a new lease of life, was soon born, and with it, a vision for the future.
This place, the Stählemühle farm, is actually a fairly romantic utopia of transforming an agricultural holding, much too small by modern economical standards, into a genuine manufacturing facility through hard work and our knowledge of processing raw plant materials by means of distillation to produce exclusive spirits of highest quality entirely by hand.
This vision and passion quickly became a calling. Christoph Keller's remarkable talent and good nose for what it takes to produce a truly exquisite fruit, brandy and herb distillate are clearly demonstrated by the numerous prestigious national and international awards the master distiller has received for his brandies and spirits. Not to mention his inclusion among the ranks of the world's 10 best distilleries by Gourmillot and Destillata. But this business of the good nose is a little tricky.
This is hard to admit for a distiller, but when it comes down to really fine sensory perceptions, my wife's clearly ahead by a nose in our family. And I'll always ask for her help when it's about making delicate decisions.
Yet for customers of the distillery, which include lovers of premium brandies, high-end restaurants, exclusive delicatessens and highly reputable international companies, the master distiller's sensory skills are clearly quite sufficient, with Keller even being lauded in professional circles as an exceptionally gifted artist in his distillery. Although the quality of a premium fruit brandy not only depends on the master distiller himself.
First, the raw ingredients play the most important role, as only absolutely perfect, fully ripened fruit can become a good brandy. The quality of the fruit, its aroma, cleanliness, degree of ripeness and location, is at least half responsible for the quality of the distillate. So my fruit growers and harvesters always make an important contribution. The fermentation process must take place under the best possible conditions and be constantly monitored. For our mash we use specially cultivated yeasts, enzymes and acid, and the fermentation must take place in ideal temperature conditions. As soon as the fermentation process subsides, we start distilling, not like in the old days when they would happily leave the mash standing until winter.
Keller cites meticulous cleanliness and hygiene as other quality factors when mashing, fermenting and during distillation itself, because there's one thing he's sure of.
The tiniest leaf, stalk or contamination results in undesirable aromas which we want to eliminate.
So all fruit in the Stählemühle is first cleaned by hand, item by item, making sure that it's washed and scrubbed. Always in search of the perfect characteristic aroma.
Wir glauben nicht nur an den sprichwörtlichen Geist.
We believe not only in the spirit of the fruit, but also in its soul. The pleasure of consuming our Eau-de-vie is the sensation of standing underneath a fruit tree, experiencing the fruit's entire life cycle, from its growth, blossoming and ripening, to its eventual decay, all bundled into that exact moment in time when you take a single sip.
This Master Distiller's Creed also applies to the return to traditional craftsmanship in the fruit distillery. Since 2010, distilling at the Stählemühle has been carried out using a new still that was purpose-built for Christoph Keller by the Markdorf coppersmith Arnold Holstein, and also incorporates a few of the experienced master distiller's own ideas. In terms of the distillation process itself, though, no equipment or machine can help. The master distiller's own experience, intuition and nose are now what decide on removing the heads and tails, which must be separated from the actual distillate, and all this is done in the traditional way of taking taste and smell samples. Only the heart, the core of the distillation process, is ultimately refined into a fruit brandy and removed most sparingly and carefully. This reduction to its primary element, the essence of the fruit, is highly complex and costly. Only the best is good enough here.
Wir wollen ja keinen Alkohol produzieren. Darum geht's uns nicht.
This is not about producing alcohol, nor about drinking. We distill fruits and plants in order to transform their character, their essence, into one magical moment of sensory enlightenment that invokes memories and creates an experience that goes hand in hand with a genuine sensual awareness of nature and creation.
To make this experience of sensual recognition possible, the distillates obtained go through a maturing process that determines the overall impression of a premium fruit brandy. The harmony, balance and persistence of a distillate come about as the result of symmetrizing the alcohol molecules with oxygen. In the Stählemühle, this occurs in the underground maturing cellar, where all distillates with a medium strength of approximately 80% are left to mature for 1 year under ideal temperature conditions. They are bottled usually without making any compromises.
Prior to filtration, distillates normally undergo chilled filtration. This is done so that the customer can be presented with a perfectly clear distillate, which is what people are used to. However, this is profoundly wrong, because filtration and cold result in the loss of many aromas. We therefore avoid doing this.
Every year, up to 80 varieties of spirit are produced in the Stählemühle, in small connoisseur batches of only 10 to 200 bottles of each distillate. So, by specifying the distillate number, year of vintage, location, origin and bottle number, the label on the dark brown glass bottle, which protects the delicate aromas against the harmful effects of ultraviolet rays, identifies an exclusive distillate of a kind that will only ever exist once. Unique pieces, handcrafted by the artisan distiller and individually numbered and signed. In addition to fruit distilling classics such as the various Mirabelle, raspberry, plum, cherry, apricot, apple and pear brandies, a great number of unusual wild fruits are distilled at the Stählemühle, rarities and speciality distillates upon which the distillery bases its outstanding reputation. Cornelian cherries, rosehips, medlars, wild plums, black cherries, rowan berries, mahonia berries, mulberries, blackcurrants, barberries and yew berries are also processed to produce remarkable taste sensations, as are 8 different varieties of wild plum, which are distilled according to their individual species and locations. Not forgetting the exotic brandies made from the carob tree, spruce shoots, rosebud pulp or Sicilian Moro blood oranges, for which Keller is famous far and wide. It seems that no fruit or plant is safe from the curiosity of this master distiller.
Anything
that bears characteristic and natural aromas can be distilled. The challenge is to fully transform these archetypal aromas into one single sip.
For For some years now, Keller's passion has also extended to single variety distillates made from herbs, which are held in high esteem by first-class German chefs. Christiane Schoeller grows the respective plants in her own herb garden, so that liquid manifestations of sweet Sicily, rosemary, lavender, mint, various types of sage, bergamot or coriander may be produced, which are enjoyed as a light digestive or used for refining dishes in haute cuisine. When enjoying all premium distillates from the Stählemühle, however, it is worth observing a few rules.
Klare Destillate trinkt man niemals kalt.
Clear distillates should never be drunk cold, but always at room temperature, served in a suitable tulip-shaped glass. And since the reaction of oxygen intensifies the aromas, the distillate should be allowed to stand for a while after pouring. Distillates are to be enjoyed with all your senses. You have to train your senses of taste and smell, as only then can this exceptional experience of the quintessence fully unfold.
Ex pluribus unum. From many parts does the unique, the essence, the quinta essentia evolve. Distillates from the Stählemühle are premium brandies of the highest order, produced by individualists whose traditional craftsmanship and love for nature still means something, rarities for connoisseurs of the most exquisite and exceptional fruit brandies. In short, Aqua Vitae, waters of life. Because nothing can bring us closer to the landscape around us than to experience the pleasures of brandies made from fruit that has grown on its earth and been illuminated by its sunlight.